Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your patience. There's a lot of stuff we're still trying to figure out here. Um, I just wanted to, before we get class started, I want to say, first off, thank you for your patience on the assignment that I put up. I tried like 10 different times to fix it and mess with it, and it was not cooperating. So we're going to take a look at that here shortly. Um, the second thing I wanted to show you just let you know as a reminder, again, we have 40-minute classes today with 5-minute passing periods. The schedule is up on Canvas, if you remember right, if you need to go back and look at that. Third thing then, before I get too far ahead of myself, is I want to show you tomorrow when you get here your seating chart. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. And if you guys can see on the screen here, I believe that red day is Tuesday, Wednesday. I hope so. Is that right? Yeah, I think. All right. So you'll see on tomorrow morning when you come in school, you're supposed to get, if you're going to get breakfast, go get that, and you're supposed to bring it up here and eat. And make sure you guys have a mask. The room, this is what you're going to see on the screen when you come in. Nathaniel, you'll be, when you walk in, you're going to be in the front, will be as you're walking in the front right corner. And then Jacob Dirks, you're going to be in the far left corner. Okay. The reason why I did it this way is so that obviously we can try to create as much space as possible between people. And you have to sit in the same seat at all times to make sure that we're able to contact trace, because you are going to be within 6 feet of someone for more than 15 minutes, which is, again, as the CDC guidelines goes, considered not necessarily socially distanced. All right. The third thing then, Amaya Murray, I see that you're on here. Did you send me your stuff, your current event and your paper?
I shared them with you.
Did on my email, or was it Canvas? I couldn't remember.
Your email.
Okay. Let me go ahead. Stop the share for a second. Let me get that, pull it up, and we'll have you walk that through us so we can kind of get an example of what it's supposed to look like. I'll help you as well. And then that will set us up for what we're going to do after that. Okay. I got a million messages. That's why I'm trying to remember where it is. Here we go. All right. So perfect. Amaya, just to get this started and to help you out, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put your slides on the screen. Today, guys, since we're not in class and I'm not gonna make you fill anything out or post a response, we're just going to kind of look at this, watch the videos, and then have a short discussion, and we'll go from there. Okay. So I'm not going to make you guys post anything on Canvas or obviously you're not going to be turning anything anything on paper in here for a long time anyways. So all right, so Amaya, I'm going to go ahead and page the screen forward, but I want you to unmute and just kind of talk to us. This is about COVID-19 vaccine development. So when you're ready.
Okay. This summary. These are types. There are many types of human coronavirus, including some that commonly cause mild upper respiratory tract illnesses. COVID-19 is a new disease caused by a novel or new coronavirus that has not previously been seen in humans. COVID is formerly known as the coronavirus 19. This disease originated in bats and came from Wuhan, China, but other speculations on where it came from was from a lab in Wuhan and was released on purpose. This disease had led to many trying to develop a vaccine.
Good. Thanks.
As said in the last slide, there are many different coronaviruses that have been around for a long time. This specific disease, such as the COVID-19, has been around since New Year's Eve to 2019 in the city of Wuhan, China. The first laboratory reported case of COVID-19 in the United States was reported on January 20, 2020, and then reported to the CDC on January 22nd, 2020. Soon after, America reported their first case. A lot of the countries like Spain, Italy, Canada, and the United Kingdom started to report cases of the coronavirus as well. The travel of the coronavirus.
So the United States has had the most cases. Is that what that's saying?
It's not showing up on mine.
Oh. On mine, it's showing up as U.S. having 8.09 million and 218,000 deaths and
Hold on.
3 million recoveries. Interesting.
Because it was supposed to pop up, but I have no clue what it's doing.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Go ahead. I just need to press. You're good.
Okay. The coronavirus has been around the world with the world for some time. Other countries have been infected too. The total cases worldwide is 39.3 million deaths. There are a total of 1.1 million deaths of this disease. There are a total of 27 million that have safely recovered from the coronavirus. Here are some countries that have been affected by the coronavirus and their death toll so far. The U.S. has 8.09 million with 218,000, and the recovery is 3,197,539. India has 7.43 million with deaths of 113,000 and recoveries is 6,524,594 recoveries. 905 recoveries. Brazil has a total.
I don't think we need to go over all those just for time purposes, but that's interesting. Thanks for putting that together. It's weird. I think it's crazy how many more recoveries India has. If you look at that chart, that graph, this chart, which you could turn into a graph, than the United States, and then has less than half the amount of deaths, or almost less than half. Go ahead.
Since the coronavirus has been on us for some time now, there have been many changes in society and we now have to socially distance 6 feet apart from when we go out to public places. Most stores will have mandate wearing masks. It's also said that you are not to wear your mask for a long period of time, as you breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. You breathe in your own toxins, which can lead to collapsed lung. Long-time use of mask wearing without changing them can also lead to facial rashes called Legionnaire's disease. There are also safe ways to keep the virus at bay and not get sick. Countries are battling the virus worldwide and have tried to develop a vaccine to get rid of it. There are governmental entities like the CDC who have started to figure out a vaccine for the coronavirus, but as of right now, 2020, there's no definite vaccine yet. The first known country to make a vaccine for COVID-19 is Russia. The vaccine is called Sputnik V, which is named after a satellite. Then the United States came out with the vaccine trials. Within these vaccine trials, people have volunteered to participate in the making of vaccine development. The participants were to sign a waiver before the vaccine trials began. The waiver was put in place just in case something medically went wrong. During the trial, a person had undisclosed symptoms and side effects from the COVID-19 vaccine. The COVID-19 vaccine trials. Johnson & Johnson is a holding company that manufactures household and healthcare products. They have also joined the race as many others for making a vaccine as well. Bill Gates is a businessman who is the founder of Microsoft Corporation, which is a technology company which develops and sells computer software. He and his company had also entered the race for development of the vaccine for COVID-19. Although there are many people who are now underway to make a vaccine, there is no official vaccine yet. Other countries are starting to make a vaccine right alongside the United States and Russia. Recently, Johnson & Johnson halted in the making of the vaccine due to trial complications. Future predictions that have come to is that the vaccine is not effective because some people have multiple complications from participating in the trials. If one or multiple people have complications and or dies from the vaccine trials, imagine what happens if they distribute the vaccine out to the public for use. I predict the development of the vaccine will change people's lives forever once they receive it. I also predict that many people won't get the vaccine for reasons of their own. My last prediction is the government will force people to get the vaccine and it will become mandatory because it'll help keep people safe around. It'll help keep the people that are around you safe. It'll be a requirement like masks and COVID-19 tests.
Booking a family vacation in a Vrbo means leaving all the...
What are we gonna see in this video, Maya?
Like how they explain how a vaccine is made.
Perfect. Thanks.
Concerns about the new coronavirus outbreak, and we're here to answer some of your biggest questions about when will a vaccine be available. So let's get started. So how do vaccines work? A great question. Vaccines help your body build immunity to specific infections by using an imitation infection. That produces the right blood cells and antibodies to fight off the virus. When imitation infection eventually goes away, the body is left with memory white blood cells. Those know how to fight the strain of the virus away in the future. So how long until a coronavirus vaccine is available?
It would take then about a year to a year and a half to be fully confident that we would have a vaccine that would be able to protect the American people.
That's because it takes a significant amount of time to create potential vaccines and then test them extensively to ensure they're both safe and effective. Obviously, right now, we don't have a vaccine yet, but it is in the works. In fact, there are multiple in the works. The World Health Organization held a briefing on March 6, 2020, where the Director General announced that they alone received 20 applications for the purpose of vaccine development.
Yeah, I had the vaccine yesterday at 8 a.m. I'll have a couple follow-up phone calls today and tomorrow. I'll go back in next week for a blood draw, and a week after that for another blood draw. 4 weeks from yesterday, I'll go for the second vaccination and then repeat those steps for the next 4 weeks.
That was Jennifer Howler. She was the first person to be tested with the COVID-19 vaccine on March 16th. What is the process of finding a vaccine and who is involved? Vaccine development starts with years of work in the laboratories of research hospitals, universities, and biotech companies, as well as the National Institutes of Health, which contributes a lot of background research. Larger pharmaceutical companies then pick up promising developments and begin the process of running 3 phases of clinical trials. That's where the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, comes in. They are responsible for approving the initial application to begin vaccine development, and they set strict guidelines for the clinical trials. FDA rules require a third party to sponsor the trials, which means they choose the research institutions that carried out the testing and make sure that FDA guidelines are met. Often this responsibility falls on the NIH. During the first phase, the vaccine is tested on less than 100 healthy young volunteers. The researchers are looking for serious side effects. The second phase increases the pool to a few hundred volunteers, and the third phase tests thousands of volunteers to test the true effectiveness of the vaccine at preventing the disease. Once the vaccine has been thoroughly tested and licensed by the FDA, a team of medical experts from the CDC called the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices reviews all the data from the months of research, development, and testing and determines how the vaccine should be administered, who should get it, and what risk factors are present. Together, the CDC and the FDA continue to monitor the effectiveness and safety of the vaccine for as long as it's in use.
And I've directed the FDA to eliminate outdated rules and bureaucracy so this work can proceed rapidly, quickly, and I mean, fast.
So what is the state of the race to develop a vaccine? Well, we are still pretty far away, but at the moment, several pharmaceutical companies and private bioresearch firms are working on vaccines and treatments, and a few of them are pretty far along. Leading the pack is Moderna. They've already sent a batch of their vaccine to the NIH's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases to begin the first round of clinical trials this month. Moderna's vaccine works differently than traditional vaccines. It injects nanoparticles with genetic instructions that tell the body's immune system to attack the virus. This makes it faster to produce, but this type of vaccine has never been licensed for public use before. Gilead Sciences is another company at the forefront of the fight against COVID-19, but it isn't focusing on a vaccine. Instead, Gilead is testing an existing antiviral treatment to cure patients who have already contracted coronavirus. It's called remdesivir, and it's already being used by doctors in the US, Italy, and China to treat patients with severe cases, and promisingly, one patient in the US has recovered after being treated with remdesivir. In terms of conventional vaccines, it's anyone's game at this point. A host of pharmaceutical companies and biotech firms have begun development on coronavirus vaccines, but many estimates don't have them beginning human trials until the end of the year. So what to take from this? Well, a vaccine isn't going to be the magic solution to this pandemic. Scientists will undoubtedly develop one at some point, but it's going to take time. In the meanwhile, you need to do the things you need to do to stay safe.
All right, just stay consistent. I don't want to show videos over 5 minutes long, but that's in terms of us understanding what's going on, that was really good, quite effective. I need to figure out what in the world I just did with your. Okay. Cool. All right, Amaya, you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay, a good video. I learned more there than I have in the news. All right, so let's take a look at the discussion questions here. Why do you think the United States has the most coronavirus cases? Why is the businessman who makes computer software and deals with technology helping to make the vaccine? Why might people not get the coronavirus vaccine? And do you have any predictions about the coronavirus vaccine? So here's what I want you to do. These are all four of these are easy questions to respond to. So to get your points today, everybody who's on here, all you need to do is respond to one of these questions in the chat function. You can do it privately or publicly. It's up to you. Two responses so far are pretty good. And when I'd like you to say why. Interesting. All right, so take a minute or two here to finish up, please. And then, oh, no. All right, so I'm going to, a lot of people respond here. Like I said, good job, good participation. Everyone, let's give a virtual round of applause to Amaya. Nice job, guys. Come on, I mean, that's a pretty good start. Amaya, I really want to thank you for walking us through that. The only thing I would say, she introduced the video, got a great video. It was a little long, but it was a great video. I think the only thing that I might just suggest for the future, for those of you guys who are going to be presenting, is maybe bring these paragraphs down into more like bullet points, just so that it doesn't take as long. Because if we have to do 4 of these on Friday, we're never going to get that done in one class period. So, again, virtual round of applause for sure. Thank you to Amaya, and very pleased with where we got there. All right, I just want to make sure that I don't go over. We've got 14 minutes left. So here's what I wanted to do with you. I wanted to kind of go over what was supposed to be your homework on Friday. I want to let you know I've had so many messages that it wasn't like, didn't look like this on your screen when you uploaded it. So what I wanted to kind of show you or just tell you was the whole point of this was to figure out how Islam spread. And I think it's important for you guys to realize that we talked about like the tenets of Islam last week, but we really didn't talk about the spread of it. So in the first source right here, basically believe or else pay money. And so people would convert because they didn't want to pay extra taxes. The second one from the Quran, you shall do battle with them, or they shall profess Islam, whatever they shall obey. Whosoever shall obey God and his apostle, he shall bring them in the gardens of paradise. So, if you are, if basically it's spread in this document because of it being the military, and that they were tougher, stronger, and they would defeat them. And if they died in battle, then they would go to paradise or heaven. So, because the Muslims are good warriors and the Arabs. Document 3, we have witnessed a people to each and every one of whom death is preferable to life, humility to prominence, and to none of whom this world has the least attraction. Their leader is like one of them. The law cannot be distinguished from the high, nor the master from the slave. And when the prayer time comes, all wash their hands and feet and pray humbly. So, basically, the motivation there was because everyone would be treated the same. There would be equality. 4, the Muslims struck their enemies, laid waste to the country, and took captives without number. Everything gave way to their swords. All the nations trembled. So, I mean, that's pretty obvious. That's pretty obvious that it was about Islam spreading by their military again. In document 5, says, but the Arabs were Jews. Many Arabs were Jews or Christians. What was he done with them? Muhammad respected this faith. He called them people of the book. They were not forced into Islam, but were allowed to retain their ancestral religion or pay on payment of tribute. So basically, they didn't force conversion on Jews and Christians. They let them convert if they wanted to. 6, Islam never interfered with the dogmas of any moral faith, never persecuted. Islam grasped the sword in self-defense. So this is another one saying that they didn't spread it because of fighting, and that Christians were harsher than Muslims. Document 7. The passion to go to heaven in the next life may have been operative for some, but the desire for comforts and luxuries of the civilized regions of the Fertile Crescent was just as strong in the case of many. So this one basically said that going out and trying to get comforts, luxuries, booty, riches, was what they were motivated about. This last one, or 8 and 9, this is just a map. And the question was, what does the map reveal about the extensive area? Well, we looked at this in class. It was just that they spread very, very, very quickly in a short amount of time. And then this, I believe, is the trade routes. And another main reason that Islam spread was because of the fact that it connected much of the Eastern Hemisphere and was kind of like a carrier of the Silk Trade Route right in the middle of it. So that's why I just kind of wanted to go over each document with you. It said, how did the Islamic Empire spread? Well, obviously it spread because they were good warriors, because they wanted luxuries, but also because, they wanted to fight, they had a chance to go to heaven, and they were located in the middle of a large trade route as well, which helped. Does that make sense to everyone? I'm not going to take that as a grade, but I wanted it just to be a review for you guys, okay? All right, last thing I'm going to do then, I know some of you are probably confused that he's talking so much on Monday. So I got to figure out how to go back to the Canvas here, which accidentally shut down my, there we go. All right, so for tonight or the next 10 minutes, however you want to do it, or you have class that starts in 14 minutes, what I want you guys to do is go to modules, okay? And if you didn't turn in that assignment, don't worry about it. It all counted as extra credit because it was weird, okay? You're not going to get points taken off for it, so don't worry about it, okay? But I do need to take you the quiz. I do need you to take the quiz from last week. It's located right here, quiz number 11. You can use its open notes, okay? Open intro. And then you'll see that your intro this week isn't due until Thursday because I don't expect you to do that tonight. I expect you to do this quiz. Someone just told me the quiz was locked. So obviously I'm going to go in and edit it right here. I'm assuming it's because of the dates. So and make it good until after finals so we can study. All right, quiz is open for you guys. And like I said, if you really are ambitious, you can get started on your intro, but you don't have to. And then also remember the seating chart thing for when you guys walk in. I'll meet some of you tomorrow for the first time. That sounds awesome. Thanks for being good people. Okay. Hopefully you guys have a good day today and are excited about tomorrow and safe and all that stuff. Okay. See you guys. Good job, Maya.
Do we need to bring our books tomorrow to class?
I'm working on that. I would say yes for tomorrow, but probably not in the future. Okay.
All right, cool.
You're welcome.
Hi, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is your room number?
H606, upper H hall, about right in the middle.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.